sheer reach and penetration of the coronavirus pandemic opened up a new front today.
We know we're coming home, but what are you coming home as? Are you coming home as champions?
Go.
Gotta want it now, eh?
We're gonna score.
We physically put every ounce of what we have into the game.
Stick together. Stick together.
Today we crown a Canadian Premier League winner, a champion from a season like no other.
COVID-19's impact on Canada is getting wider. The number of cases nearly 200 so far, and its impact on our lives, our communities, and our work is already massive.
Things are changing, and they're changing fast. The way we live, the way we work, our sense of safety.
The sheer reach and penetration of the coronavirus pandemic opened up a new front today, with more of the world's biggest sporting contests cancelled or postponed.
Nobody saw it coming. As we started to see sports shut down, that's when things started to get real serious. Frankly, we recognized immediately that at the end of the day, if you don't have people in seats, that's your revenue source. That's a problem. So now it became about how do we, A, survive? How do we continue to push forward and surely don't go dark and give up all the ground that we had made out in 2019? And that's why we started looking at everything we could.
As sports leagues and industries across the world began to explore new models for how to operate during a pandemic, a cross-country search in Canada began to find the best location to host an adapted format of the Canadian Premier League's second season. Eventually, through a partnership with the province of Prince Edward Island, an unexpected idea was brought forward. A plan by the CPL was unveiled to convert the University of Prince Edward Island's soccer facility into North America's first virtual football stadium. With no supporters allowed inside the venue, the teams would square off in an atmosphere akin to a closed-door, all-access private match. While to the viewers across the country and around the world, the matches would appear to be taking place in a bespoke football stadium. And in this resilient spirit, the Island Games were born. For the players of the CPL, adapting to conditions inside the bubble would take some time. It wasn't just about leaving friends and family behind to move into a confined environment. Continuous COVID testing and the process of experiencing a professional lifestyle fundamentally changed by the global pandemic were just some of the challenges. But with only 4 days remaining until kickoff for the competition, there was little time to waste.
It's been unprecedented times. Obviously, a lot of stuff going on in the world, but sports has this unique opportunity of bringing people together when times are tough. So we want to be a bright light for our community in Hamilton.
With the times, the pandemic, it's been an unbelievably long off season, and I think that just kind of adds to it. You know, we're here to prove everybody across Canada that we should be the best team here.
We haven't been able to play any friendlies like everyone else, but you know, I think we're fit enough and we're ready enough that, you know, come game time and come these 7 games, we'll be ready and we're ready to take it all.
Obviously now with the COVID, it's a whole different situation, and people are forced to watch the games on TV instead of in the stadiums. We want to make them proud, even though they can't be with us here.
Courage, pride, honor. We take those 3 words seriously in our change room. We're willing to fight for each other for the 90+ minutes we get on that field.
Especially our fans at FC Edmonton, as everyone knows, when the club went dark in 2018, they were the ones who were keeping the torch burning. This is all for the fans back home in Edmonton.
Me being in the team last year, I know how it felt to be at the bottom of the table. That's one thing. And then you have guys come in who see what happened last year and they want to make a difference. And we have fans behind us as well. So the support is there, the mindset is right for this season for sure. And all we want to do is just try our best and try to win.
Jalasi, Ndelawisi Julie. Hello and welcome. My name is Julie. I am Mi'kmaq, and I reside in this beautiful territory known as Mi'kma'ki, and I would like to welcome you all in peace and friendship.
After a delay of 5 months, CPL soccer was about to return to Canadian soil. With a 2-2 draw between perennial rivals Forge and Cavalry, the Island Games were now officially underway. To be crowned as champions on the island, the winning team would have to succeed in a format that would push every club to the brink. Each team would play 7 matches in the tournament's opening stage to determine which of the 4 teams would progress to the second round. From there, the remaining 4 teams would take part in a condensed group stage format to determine which 2 clubs would progress to a 1-match final to decide who would lift the North Star Shield. With 34 matches remaining on the island, the tournament's second game would mark a special moment in the young history of the Canadian Premier League. Just 6 months before the Island Games came news that Spanish football powerhouse Atletico Madrid had taken an interest in founding a club to play in Canada.
Atletico Ottawa. You gotta love the sound of that, right?
Atletico Ottawa was born. Now, in August and over 1,000 kilometers from their home pitch, Atletico Ottawa is getting ready for its first Canadian Premier League match.
My name is Ben Fisk, midfielder for Atletico Ottawa. When we started preseason back in March, and little did we know we'd be waiting a lot longer than we had planned for. So I think everyone in the club, from the players to the staff, to all our fans back home, we're all just really eager to get out there and show that this club has a real place in this league, and we're ready to compete and show what we can do. You have to look no further than our parent club, Atletico Madrid. You know, they're a club that I think, for me, represents passion, honor, integrity, and that's kind of the pillars that our club's going to be built off of. And every player that we brought in has been brought in because they are an overwhelming example of those things.
Atletico Ottawa would face Ontario rivals York 9 FC in its inaugural match.
C'est vraiment une opportunité qui se présente pas souvent. C'est rare et faire partie en quelque sorte de l'histoire, tu vois, de ce club, de jouer le premier match. On était tous excités, je pense. On avait hâte de représenter le club et de jouer pour ce club.
It's not every day you get to play the first match in a club's history, so we wanted to make the most of that occasion and make our city and all the people that have worked so hard to make this club happen, make them all proud.
With Atletico, a top 10 team in the world, that base I think is huge for Ottawa soccer and Ottawa sports. I don't know what to expect. I think when you look at a lot of the resumes individually, wow, there's some exciting players. I'm excited to see how it goes, and they've got a real tough test here right off the bat with York 9.
On February 11th, 2020, Atletico Ottawa was unveiled. On August the 15th, their journey will kick off in Charlottetown.
Focus on us. What's in here? We have each other's backs. We're a brotherhood. We're a family. Let's go. Let's go make each other proud.
Il y a des gens qui nous donnaient aucune chance de gagner même un match dans ce tournoi. On n'était vraiment pas considérés. Je savais en fait qu'avec les leaders qu'on avait dans ce groupe, les Nacho, les Fisk, Acuna, qu'on pouvait faire quelque chose.
Sometimes, you know, hearing people counting you out and all that is kind of all the motivation a team needs to come together. And, you know, it's no secret we've been kind of up against it since day one with everything that's gone on in 2020. Coming into this tournament, it was just, we know the quality we have in the group, we know the characters that we have, and we know we have enough to compete. So let's go out and show the world what everyone within the squad already knew.
Sean Newfield again does well to get away, get into the box. He's able to get it through to the middle, and there is a goal! El primero goal for Atletico Ottawa. The first goal in club history scored by Mohamed Karuma. And look what it means to those players.
Je me considère être béni d'avoir marqué ce premier but-là de l'histoire du club. Quand je marque ce premier but, je me dirige vers le banc parce que c'est tout le monde qui a participé. C'est pas juste moi. Oui, je marque, je suis béni d'avoir marqué ce but, mais il y a un travail derrière et il y a une équipe derrière et il y a les joueurs derrière. Donc c'est pour ça que je pars vers le banc parce que c'est ensemble on a marqué ce but.
History was made, as despite a second-half fight-back from York that included a goal by Lowell Wright, the youngest scorer in CPL history, Atletico Ottawa had done enough to earn its first-ever point, a 2-2 draw with York 9 FC. 2 matches later, Atletico earned their first win, a 2-0 victory over Cavalry FC. Suddenly, a club that few had given any chance of succeeding was knocking on the door of an appearance in the Final Four. Ten days into the competition, the league's players, coaches, and staff were given another opportunity to rise above adversity.
Scenes from Kenosha overnight. Wisconsin erupted in protests after a video surfaced on social media that's showing once again a police shooting.
Alongside other major sports leagues in North America, the players of the Canadian Premier League took it upon themselves to make a statement.
Powerful pictures and a united front as all players kneel.
It matters a lot because of the image that is being created. They look at players like, oh, they're probably stupid. They probably don't think. But there's a human being inside a player that other people don't see. When I sit here to speak to you as Pa Moduka, head coach of Pacific FC in the CPL, is because I need to use my voice so people can understand my own people and the injustice that's they've been done. Because I wish there was many of us in the position that I am in. But guess what? Not everybody get the same chance.
While the two teams get set to kick off, Atletico Ottawa and Cavalry, well, they're not going to leave the pitch. They will stand with arms linked around the perimeter of the field. We're being told for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Reminding everyone what's really important right now.
When that whistle blew, at that very moment, flashback to what my parents dealt with, moving over to England from the Caribbean islands. I thought about what their parents had to go through, and I thought about what their parents had to go through, and, you know, a never-ending cycle.
as soon as we step on that field, we know that we each have a role and responsibility, and there's going to be players, teammates to our left and right that are looking to us. That's one of the things that I've been challenged with. The question that keeps coming back to my mind is, am I leading them the right way?
As footballers, it's important to speak up because it's something that we should use our platform for. A lot of people look at entertainers, whether it's athletes or musicians or artists, and we're role models, not just on the field, but off the field as well. And I think it's important for us to use our platforms as much as possible because we're in the public eye all the time. And for me, it's important how we use our platform and how we use the league's platform to help us push the right message. I think right now is the perfect time for us to talk about our experiences, the things that really matter, the things that are important to us, and try to change the narrative from hatred and controversy to facts and love.
Your hand must be really good.
Away from the pressure of the season's unrelenting match schedule, there was also lots of time to kill inside the bubble. Adjusting to time away from family, friends, and adapting to a new lifestyle took some time. But as fast and furiously as it all began, for 4 teams, their seasons will soon come to an end.
This is an absolute dream scenario for the Canadian Premier League. Heading into the Island Games, I'm pretty sure that they would have loved for 5 teams to be in the running in the final weekend. That would have been nice, heck, maybe even 6. No, we have 7 of the 8 teams who are vying for a core 4 spot.
The first match of a decisive Saturday centered around Winnipeg's Valor Football Club. Led by head coach Rob Gale, the Manitoba side had kept themselves in contention heading into the final day. But to stand any chance of making it into the Final Four, they would have to knock off 2019 champions Forge FC. On a day where they needed to win, the game got off to the worst possible start for Valor.
Move the ball quicker, let's go! Get on the ball, Jose! Love that, love that. Go for goal! Go for goal, get in the box!
Here's Levi's, plays it in. Goalkeeper stays on his line, punished! Equalizer!
Take him up, one-on-one, take him up, take him up!
Cross in, and their dream of reaching the group stage still alive. They're up 2-1.
After battling back from the brink, Valor had given themselves every chance of qualifying for the Final Four, until a Forge goal in the second half brought their Island Games run to an end.
Probably deserve more. The reality is we haven't got it, but there's lots to build on. Quality of person is right, the attitude, the values, everything we want to be as Valor Football Club, the lads have shown. Now we need to add a couple of pieces to turn that into goals and wins.
In the day's second match, it would be York versus Cavalry in the tournament's first true do-or-die match, with both teams needing a win to progress to the second round. With so much at stake, the match began with a frantic pace. But play was brought to an abrupt halt in the 12th minute.
It was a strong tackle, it was a heavy tackle. They're gonna have to get the stretcher out here. Lengthy pause here while Oliver is tended to. And obviously, of an injury of this magnitude, football is secondary, so paramedics and EMS will take as much time as they need.
Oliver's, not only is he a great player, but he's a great guy in the locker room. He's a good friend of all of ours, and as soon as something like that happens, you rally together for the guy. It was pretty much one of those things at halftime, like we're doing this for him. You know, you never want to see a soldier go down during a game, but it happened, and we fought through it.
Ready for the second half of play in a very important match for both clubs. A win, and you're on to the group stage. A draw or a loss, and, well, you let destiny be the decider. Mavilla settles it down. Nathan Mavilla, good stop, but it's loose. Haber times that to absolute perfection. His second of the tournament could book the Cavs a spot in the group stage.
We just kind of let the emotion out after we scored. You know, we went over, we had his jersey held up. I know Marcus kissed the jersey after he scored the goal.
What a gesture. Haber comes over and kisses Oliver Minatel's jersey. One of those beautiful moments of sport that really makes you fall in love with this game. Cavalry hangs on, handing York 9 their first defeat of the season, and they top their group here in the first stage at the Island Games.
Great job.
You know, it can rock the players. You lose a soldier in battle, and we lost Oliver Minatel today, but the guys came out with a victorious result, and that was accredited to him.
After a heroic late draw against York, the Halifax Wanderers had arrived into the final day still alive, and only one win away from qualifying for the Final Four.
This is a situation that we have not been in before, but yet we've been in it before. Because before we even left Halifax, right, we said it was easy to get into the Final Four. You just had to win every game. Good? And this is no different. The performance is the most important thing all the time. You stick to your roles, you stick to your task. Good? You give everything, and that's all I ask for. Stick together. Stick together. And this I like. The more difficult the victory, the greater the happiness in winning. Okay? I know everybody wants to be in this game. Right? I know some of you all are disappointed that you're not selected, right? That is normal. But we have been a complete team throughout this tournament, a real team. Good? We will need you, and when we call upon you, you have to be ready to make things happen. Do you understand me? Yeah? The guys on the pitch, you know the rule. You give everything, and when you say to me, I'm finished, I'm finished. Yeah? Let's go.
Left-footed cross in, takes a bounce. Akeem Garcia! The ball got a piece of it, but Garcia just over 15 minutes into this match, and Wanderers take the lead. Rigi picks it up, a little chip. Take a bow, Alessandro Rigi.
Beautiful boy. Beautiful.
And Halifax has booked their spot in the group stage. The Heart of Halifax beating strong today. Hats off to Stephen Hart and his men, continuing this remarkable season.
In the final game of the weekend, the formula for Pacific FC was simple. win, and become the fourth and final team to qualify for the second round.
Game day. There's nothing better than a game day. The feeling right away was, we didn't want to go home.
Remember all the grind in Tofino, all the bull been through this year, all the tough times. Remember that. Also, remember why you're doing this. Remember who you're doing it for. Not just yourself. Think about your family and your friends. This is a very important time for us. Time to make history. Work together, believe in each other, help each other. Let's be a team, a unit. Can get this win, baby. Let's go! Come on. No one wants to go home. Let's go! Let's go!
Step!
Came to the game, everyone ready, as though we thought everyone was ready. First half went, and it wasn't good. Felt like I couldn't get my legs. I felt like on the press I was getting there late, and they scored. We go down 1-0.
30 minutes, keep going.
Right there, you're thinking, well, we got to score 2 goals now. Are we gonna go home?
Go! Left foot!
Shot comes into the box. It's Josh Hurd who's there, who scores for Pacific. They needed an equalizer, and they find it. They need another one.
We gotta want it now,
come on. We're gonna score. Focus. We're gonna score.
I could hear my teammates on the sideline. Keep going, Bustos, keep going, it's coming, it's coming. That motivation is, all I need from my teammates, coaches.
Come on!
Marco Bustos with the goal that Pacific have needed.
The feeling after was very emotional. It was, you trained all this under the circumstances of COVID, hard things thrown at you and curved balls, and you just got to dodge them and keep going forward, and that's where this club's going, and just have that champion mentality. I personally have never won anything as a professional, and that's my motivation right there, to be continued, right?
And then there were 4.
1, 2, 3.
Last year's finalists remained in Cavalry and Forge, with the resurgent Halifax Wanderers FC and Pacific FC rounding out the final teams. 2 perennial favorites and 2 new challengers. Each team would play the other 3 once in a 7-day sprint to determine who would compete for the North Star Shield on September 19th.
We saw the first round as a 7-game series, and we talked about you need 4 wins to advance. We've done that. Now the next one is a best of 3. So 2 wins sees you through.
Top 4, you're here because you want to win. So everybody knows that that's why you play tournaments. We're just happy to represent the island and make sure that everybody back home can be proud of us.
Enthralling 28 games over 3 weeks leaves just 4 left standing. A fantastic 4 who have moved on to the group stage, the second phase of this competition. Garcia, and in! Oh, comes off his head, penalty given. Paulo Sabat, 1 for 1 from the penalty spot in this tournament. Make it 2 for 2.
The round started with a 1-1 draw between Halifax and Forge, while in the second game of the day, Cavalry pulled away from the pack with a 3-1 win over Pacific.
Play for the person next to you. Come on, boys. Come on. 1, 2, 3.
Family, come on.
On the second match day of the round, it was Pacific who were eliminated first after a 2-0 loss to Forge.
They've been professional throughout, knowing that what the pandemic have cost, they didn't know whether there would be a season, the game was taken away from them. I'm hugely grateful to be able to lead them. We have a process that we started in Tofino, and we've seen them take huge steps, and this has been a great learning moment for our boys. But overall, I mean, the players has been fantastic.
It was now over to Cavalry and Halifax to see who could take a huge step towards the final.
1, 2, 3, penalty! Takes him down, penalty! Garcia, in! Borelli stays onside. João Borelli, penalty given. Double trouble for the Cavs. So Borelli's going to try to finish what he started. João Borelli, do you believe Halifax? Because your Wanderers just upset the spring and fall champions.
I thought we had a team that was going to surprise people. Coming from where we were last year, I don't think anybody would have predicted this. Already, we've achieved what nobody expected.
And Hakeem, the dream, it continues.
On est arrivé ici, nouvelle équipe, nouvel environnement, dans une situation qu'on est tous isolés. On a tout de suite vu la chimie de l'équipe, comment on était soutenus comme une famille, puis on se battait vraiment tous ensemble sur le terrain. Et je crois que c'est après ça qu'on a vu qu'après match, on pourrait vraiment faire quelque chose de gros. Là, quand on peut le voir, on est ici en finale. N'importe quelle situation, qu'on soit en train de perdre, qu'on a des cartons rouges, on a toujours pu surmonter toutes les situations qui étaient possibles jusqu'à maintenant pendant le tournoi. Tout le monde s'entend bien, il n'y a pas de petites cliques du monde qui sont un peu séparés, c'est vraiment tout le monde ensemble. Je crois vraiment que c'est un peu la magie qui fait en sorte qu'on a pu passer des derniers à avoir une chance d'être champion cette année.
The win by Halifax set the stage for a CPL Classic. It would be Forge against Cavalry to decide the second spot in the final.
Good afternoon. Hopefully we've had a good morning. Today is a beautiful day. It's a day to play football. It's a beautiful day outside. Nice, sunny, no wind, perfect conditions. A day made for champions. That's the way I look at it. It's a day made for champions. Today we go on the pitch. We've talked about it. We've talked about the tactical plan. We've talked about what we're going to ask from you guys physically. So now we have to go and execute. Tomorrow doesn't exist without today. There are no excuses once we leave the pitch today. We physically put every ounce of what we have into the game, both on the ball and off the ball. Emotionally, we stay checked in. We stay under control. We execute what we can do. What can we do? We can play football. We can play football and we can move that ball around. We read situations on the field. When they're high, we go. When that pocket opens up, we drop, we get it, we turn, we go. And we run at them. And we run at them. And we run at them. And we let them chase. You do that today, today is successful.
Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. It is the biggest rivalry this league has ever known. The two titans of the CPL.
Definitely makes for a very competitive game, that's for sure. They got a lot of belief in that team. They're very competitive. They work for everything. They never really give you an inch. So we knew going in it was going to be a battle.
It's literally you or me. Me, if we win, we're through. You, if you win, you're through. And whoever wants it most, takes it.
Hey, listen, this is what we're playing for, boys. This is a team right here. Whatever happens, have each other's backs. We fight to the end. We'll win this game. Worry about the final. Let's go. No regrets. Let's go. Together, huh? Cavs on 3. 1, 2, 3. Cavs! Come on, boys. Let's do it. It's possible.
Well, it's a must-win game for Cavalry, but a loss for Forge today, and they'll have to wait until tonight. Forge not yet booking a spot in the CPL Finals. Becker again into space, Mobabuli. All kinds of room. Here's Mobabuli, chip over Carducci off the crossbar and tapped in. Come on! Beautiful goal from Mobabuli.
It was just like instinct to do that. I'm sure
There was a lot of simpler ways to put that ball into the back of the net, or attempt to at least. I'm grateful for winning.
The CPL final is set. Forge will have an opportunity to defend their title as Cavalry's season comes to a close after 10 hard-fought matches in Charlottetown.
We give it everything we have, and I can never fault the lads, never fault the coaching staff. I know the ownership group was behind us, the fans. You know, sometimes in moments like this, you need a bit of luck. We know whether we're playing with 10 men or whether we're playing to the last kick of the game with a few subs on the bench, we'll give you a game. But now we just need that quality to see us out in the important games.
Alex, did you see the screen?
Moby Dick foe. Is it an orca?
Yeah.
Would it be an orca whale? No.
No. Orca's like fucking Free Willy. It'd be
Moby Dick was a whale, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's a different kind of whale, isn't it?
That's 4 letters. I don't know 4-letter whales, do you? Moby Dick's foe.
No idea.
Yeah, he's French, bro.
What, they don't call whales?
It'd be Dick. Yeah, no, it'd be Dick Moby. It's a strange one. We know we're coming home, but what are you coming home as? Are you coming home as champions for the second time, or are you coming home as runners-up in the tournament? As excited as I am to get home, and I'm sure everyone here is, we still have one more game and a job to finish here. So we don't want to be going back as runners-up, that's for sure.
You good?
You know, my grandma for sure, she's going to be sitting in front of the TV waiting to see that game patiently, and yeah, she'd be cheering me on for sure. And all my friends back home, they're happy that we're in the finals this year. Coming last year, I went back home and they talk a lot of shit, but this year it's positive and they're happy. It's coming into finals, right? So you have some new professionals coming to the team. It's going to be a bit of nerves, but as the game goes on, you're going to get comfortable. You make the right passes. You get yourself comfortable in the game, and we do what we do.
It's now a matter of going out there, experiencing the moment, enjoying the moment, and giving it everything you've got. That's all I ever ask of players.
It's match day for the 2020 Canadian Premier League final. For some, the final moments before heading to the stadium are spent fine-tuning their bodies ahead of one last battle. For others, it's a call to loved ones at home that will be their final act before taking to the stage.
I heard you say good luck, yeah.
But for all players, this will be the last hurdle in a footballing marathon. Day 43 on the island. 6 weeks, confined to only the hotel and the stadium. And now, the last day of a season unlike any ever before.
Bye-bye. Love you too. Bye-bye.
For those who know history and know the civilization of the world, at many times in the point of history, people have had to leave their comfort zones to go out into battle, to go into war. And in war, there's always battles along the way, right? Because it doesn't start on one day and then the next. It doesn't start in 1 hour and then after an hour. What happens is A band of people come together with a common purpose, with a common goal to reach something. In our little world, we haven't gone to war, we haven't taken arms, but what we've done is we've left our comfort zones. We've left our homes, our families, our loved ones to be here together for 40+ days to go to war. But what we've done throughout this period is we've had one battle at a time. We started weeks ago, which may feel like months ago, and we kept on going. And we kept on winning. We kept on gaining ground. We kept on gaining ground on all of our opponents. Today we walk onto the field as 22, not as 11, not as 16, with a common goal to be champions. You've got a team on the other side that's probably saying the exact same things, but if we do our business today, there is no other team on the field. There is only one team. Let's forge, guys. Let's have a
Don't let the event of the fact that you're playing in a final have an effect. When you go out there, you're going to feel some adrenaline. That's your preparedness. Tell yourself you are prepared to play this. Do you understand me? We said this from one of the beginnings. Some people want it to happen, some wish it to happen, others make it happen. You've certainly earned where you are today. Okay? Continue to keep proving that all the time. Yeah? Thank you.
Today we crowned a Canadian Premier League winner, a champion from a season like no other.
Everything we've asked of you guys f***ing done. Today we're f***ing great. Let's make some f***ing history, boys.
Let's go. Be great. Fight everyone.
1, 2, 3.
Win! 1, 2, 3, family! Let's go! Let's go.
Babuli stops. Decides to take it up for Christian Oxner down quickly. Regi, crossover, hits, blocked, loose ball, Garcia into the hands of Henry. No offside was given while protests continue.
Like many finals, this was a tense and cautious encounter. The first half played out with neither team willing to risk too much adventure as halftime arrived with the score even at 0-0.
Number 9 of the game. This time goes far post. Oxner just a touch. Babuli keeps it in. Far post. Ashton Yoni Janssen! Babuli gets the ball to the far post, plays it across. Oxner left for waste. His third goal of the tournament from Alexander the Great.
As the match entered its waning moments, Forge looked assured and seemed to have a firm grip on the North Star Shield.
Go, Akeem!
Halifax looked like a team that had run out of energy and ideas. Suddenly, in a moment of madness, the title was decided.
So takes. Tries to catch Oxner. Oh my! And the North Star Shield is going back to Hamilton. From forever first to title defended. Canadian Premier League supremacy forged in Hamilton, defended on Prince Edward Island.
Yeah, two.
Thank you, big man. Well done.
Dose. Told you we didn't come here for nothing. Feeling amazing. 45 days for all of this. Well worth it. Well worth it.
So we came here for it, man. How do you, man? We came here for it. I love this group.
Oh, who needs what? Back from. Oh, wow.
Obviously, it's an unbelievable feeling.
When we got here, this was the goal from day one. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but credit to the boys, everyone dug in, and it's obviously a fantastic feeling, and it's not easy to go back to back. Every single game we treated it as a battle, and the whole thing was a war, and obviously at the end of the day, we're buzzing that we're the ones lifting the trophy.
Honestly, it's been a long time coming. I mean, from having preseason to having everything shut down and not knowing if we were even going to play, I mean, guys stayed optimistic, guys stuck to the task that the coaches and the training staff gave us. And I think the most important thing is that we realized that something like football can be taken away from us so quickly. So when we were able to come back, like, we didn't take any practices, any sessions for granted, just to be able to spend this special moment with my teammates and my coaching staff and my family back home and the fans back home. It's unbelievable.
You don't know if it can be the same as last year, but it is. It's special in its own way, and we had to grind it out the different ways this year. It's tournament football, and to come out on top is just a credit to everyone involved in this club. I'm gonna miss the bubble, so thank you to PEI, and thank you for everyone in the CPL for having this, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And in all honesty, yeah, we miss our family, miss our friends and our kids, but it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it's what we love to do.
For our people at CPL to bring professional soccer back to Canada was very, very important for us in the first year. In the second year, to keep it, make sure that it didn't go dark, as I've said, and keep it in front of people, I think was essential to us. It was vital. I can see already the face of the game is changing in Canada. We will be a force to be reckoned with in the global game at one point. I hope it's sooner rather than later, but we will be there. We'll get it done.